Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna Crossland. For those of you who are new here, hi, welcome. If you enjoy talking about makeup or honest makeup reviews, then please hit that subscribe button. It means so much to me. For those of you who have been following our moving journey, we sold our house, moved to Arizona in 3 weeks, and we are here and we are in our new house. I don't have anything really set up in here, but I'm still trying to film. Today I actually wanted to use this Midas Perception palette that I got in the mail recently. This is in collaboration with the Basic Bee, and she's just a very talented artist. I am an affiliate with Midas Cosmetics, and I just like to throw that out there so you're 100% aware. I did buy this with my own money though. It's not set in PR or anything like that. You can use my code GLITTER in all caps and that will save you 20% off, so that's awesome. I was so excited when I saw this color story. So there is a mirror, which is nice because it has amazing duochromes and it just looks like the perfect color story, honestly, for summer to fall. I feel like it's a great transitional piece. Today I kind of wanted to do some comparisons to the Club Nebula from Kaleidos. This is like my favorite palette I think that I've recently purchased this year. I just love it so much, and honestly when I first saw this color story, it's honestly the first thing I thought about, which is why I almost passed on this palette, only because it's somewhat similar, not identical whatsoever. I think it's honestly just the lime green and the turquoise being right next to each other. But I am gonna swatch a couple side by side because this is still available, whereas the Club Nebula I don't think is, and I don't know if it's going to ever come back. This one was in collaboration with Angelica, and I love it. I've done so many videos using this palette. I'll post it down below. But if you missed out on this, I kind of wanted to show what colors might be similar in here. So I'm going to swatch them on my hand side by side and see what colors we can get that look similar. See how many. We'll see. We'll see. Here they are side by side. The top is Club Nebula. The bottom is the Perception palette. And there are a couple of similarities. Some of them I knew weren't going to be identical, but I just kind of wanted to see how much of a tonal difference there was. Some of them are pretty close. I'd say the shimmer formulas are definitely different. I think I prefer Midas's because it's a little less toppery. Don't get me wrong, I love the Kaleidos one. I do feel like I kind of have to use like a glitter glue. But the Midas one, I don't know if you can tell, has a little bit more background pigment, especially with these two. I feel like they have the same shift. But the Kaleidos one is barely there, and I feel like the Midas one has a better shift because of the formula difference. However, with that said, I did prefer the Kaleidos mattes a little bit more, but honestly, in both palettes, some of them are a little bit hit or miss just because they are the deeper shades. If you were interested in the Kaleidos one, I would say there are a few shades, especially like more of the duochromes, that are kind of similar, and I think you could get a few similar looks out of this palette. I definitely feel like the Kaleidos still has that more grungier, murkier feel, which I personally love so much, and I feel like the one from Midas does have a few shades that are a little more grungier, but then it also has more brighter tones, more neon, which is why I think it's great for like summer into fall. They're both still really pretty. So I'm gonna show you some swatches of the Perception palette. These swatches were taken in sunlight, no primer, just finger swatches. A couple of them were built up, but honestly some of them just really didn't need it. It was pretty good quality. I don't really remember struggling with many of the shade. I will say after you rub your fingers in the duochromes, they are more of that flakier formula. So you do have to be careful because it you barely dip into it and kind of starts flaking up, and you don't want to waste a bunch of product. So be careful. I think I'm going to use my finger to apply the shimmers because I think that's just what's going to work best. I'm in Arizona and I'm here wearing like this chunky knit sweater, sweating in the 80-degree weather. But it's so hard not to get into fall season. Today I went to Bath & Body Works and they have their Halloween candles out, and so I got the Wicked Apple scent because anything that is scented caramel apple, I have to have it. So I did get this today. I know this is really random, but oh my god, I can smell it through. It's just so oh my god, it's so good. I want to eat it, so today I think we're gonna try and do, you know, a grungier-esque fall look. I'm gonna prime my eyes using this Shop Alter Ego primer. They sent it to me, so I've been using it. So far I haven't had many issues. Oh, today for my eyelashes, because I'm sure you noticed I have these on, I used the Falscara for the first time, and I thought I was buying the new version that lasts like 10 days, but it's not. But so far I'm pretty happy with them. They've been on for probably 5 hours now, and anytime you do like individual lashes like this, you want to be careful, not touch them too much. I'm not going to wear mascara with them. I kind of want to see how long I can have them last. I have done individual lashes before, and I'll say these are the most lightweight ones I have ever used. I usually use the Ardell single lashes, and those always feel so heavy on me. So these actually feel really lightweight, and like I have nothing there. It's fabulous. We're gonna start with Existence, this light brown shade, just because I'm basic right now. I was like, I'm gonna do this kind. This color starts with brown. Does that happen to anybody else? That was very pigmented. I love this tone because I feel like the more I blend it out, the more kind of orangey it gets. I do like that. Be beautiful for every day, just all over the lid, all in the crease. So moving has been stressful because Travis's hours at his new job are not ideal whatsoever, but it is what it is. So I've been very tired, hence the lack of videos. I feel like I kind of picked a small blending brush for this, and it's kind of hard. I think she honestly curated a beautiful color story. Like I said, I do prefer that the Kaleidos one's a little bit more grungy just because that's more up my alley, but I do feel you can do more with this one. We're gonna use the purple color. This is called Implode. I'm gonna start by packing it just so we hopefully don't have a ton of fallout because it is a very dark shade. It does have a little bit of kick up. I don't feel like it's anything crazy. I feel like you could definitely do a really beautiful purple smoky eye, because you could also have taken that lavender shade and put it in the crease, and I think that's just been gorgeous. I'm gonna take the green, the deep green called Restless, on the inner. See, this is like the whole row that I'm like, high fall vibes. Like, you could just, again, do like the light green in the crease and then do this deep matte green all over the lid, and you'd be ready for fall. And everything's performing well. Even though the mattes aren't like my favorite to swatch, I think they're still performing perfectly well. So far, I'd say everything's working pretty splendidly. We're gonna take Psych, this guy, which is kind of, it goes from like pink to green, champagne. We're gonna put that on the inner corner. We're gonna see how well a brush can pick it up. I'm doing it on a wet pencil brush, and we're gonna kind of, oh shoot, that is really shifting green next to that green. Holy, I did not think it would have that much shift. I really did not. Like, why was I not? I swatched them and I just didn't realize how shifty this was on. Again, like, I feel it looks like I'm using that green one, but I'm not. Like, that was my plan to put in here, but now I'm like, hopefully it'll work. Hopefully. I did not expect that from this one. I mean, I know it can shift green, but I just didn't think it shipped this much green. Maybe it's because it's right next to a green. I was planning on taking this green next, called Motive. We'll see. Again, wet brush. I felt like I barely needed any in the last one. I was like, okay, so I feel like these almost look the same. This one looks almost a little more minty though. But again, I just thought that one was gonna look less green. This one looks a little more minty toned, a little more cool toned. I don't know if you guys can tell the difference. We're gonna go back into some of that dark green and blend it kind of. I'm gonna take the purpley pink color. The other one's definitely more shifty than this purpley pink. This one's just like really shiny and sparkly. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to go back in with the purple. So I'm making a mess on my lashes. This eye's like turning out way better. I feel like this eye is kind of like the experiment, And then it says like, now I know what I must do. Take some more of that purple just to kind of add back in there. I don't know what color we should use. Under the eye? I think under the eye we're actually going to go into Infinity, the red color. So that's not as deep as I would like it to be. I think we're going to try Deep Space, which is a shimmer, but it's not an intense shimmer, and I'm kind of wondering if that will help. Not really helping. It almost looks like it's turning it more purpley. We can't say that we did not use a lot of colors here. I'm going to go into the purple we originally used. I'm going to clean this up, add eyeliner, and I'll be back. Here is the finished look. I think the shimmers look high level. I think they look just as beautiful as any of my other indie makeup. I think they're gorgeous and they're really good. Let's go over my final thoughts. Is it a dupe for the Club Nebula? No. Are you going to be able to get some similar looks out of it? I do believe so, and if you missed out on it, you might want to consider picking this one up. Again, it doesn't have as grungy, more colorful colors like the Club Nebula, but you can still probably kind of add colors to kind of make it look more grungy, if that makes sense. I love the duochromes in this palette. They honestly are stunning. They work great. I didn't feel like I had any problems with the mattes at all. I did feel like though for like the red ones, so this could happen with some of the other brighter colors like this blue, maybe I could see it happening, or the orange. I feel like if you really want to intensify those, you might have to lay down either like a colored liner at first or just a base that's really going to make them pop more, maybe like a white tackier type of base. They just might need a little bit more help, but again, that's just based off me using this red, so I don't know. I feel like the red I had a hard time building up, but with that said, I almost remember using the Club Nebula and needing to intensify the red more. I felt like it also had the same thing. So maybe that's just a lot of different reds. I feel like the only reds that have ever been super pigmented are kind of the more gritty type of formula, and these ones are softer. So maybe it's just that one, but I don't know. I just wouldn't doubt if the blue kind of, yeah, see, upon like first swatch, it's not the most pigmented, but you can like build it up, but it still has a little bit of sheerness. So I feel like if you have a really good base, that shouldn't be an issue. But again, it's not just with this type of formula. To me, it almost would be worth it just buying it for the duochromes because they're very transforming, they're very beautiful. I can see myself using this in the fall a lot. I really like this color story. I liked everything we used today. So I think if you missed out on Club Nebula, or if you just are into this type of color story, more colorful, yet also some deeper, grungier shades, then I think you'll enjoy this. And if you're a duochrome lover like myself, I definitely think you'll like it. Let me know your thoughts on the palette. Do you plan on picking it up? Did you already pick it up, or do you have Club Nebula and feel like you can pass on it? Let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.